In Seattle, a group of scientists did something they thought was harmless. They captured a few wild ravens while wearing strange masks. After a short time, the birds were released unharmed, and the experiment seemed finished. But months later, something astonishing happened. The ravens were still reacting to those same masks. Even years later, they continued responding with alarm whenever they saw them. Stranger still, young ravens that had never met the scientists began reacting too. Somehow, the warning had been passed down to the next generation. Think about that for a moment. A wild bird remembered a human face for years, and then taught its children who not to trust. Tonight, we're diving into the mind of the most intelligent bird in North America, a bird so smart that some scientists compare parts of its thinking to that of great apes. This is the story of the raven, and by the end of this video, you may never look at a bird the same way again. Most people think ravens are simply oversized crows, but that couldn't be further from the truth. Ravens can solve puzzles, use tools, plan ahead, and in some situations even manipulate other animals. In Yellowstone National Park, researchers observed ravens following wolf packs across vast landscapes. They weren't afraid of the wolves. In fact, they depended on them. Wolves can take down large animals, while ravens cannot. But ravens understand that if they follow a hunting pack long enough, a meal will eventually appear. Even more incredible, ravens have sometimes been observed leading wolves toward potential prey. Scientists still debate exactly how intentional this behavior is, but the evidence suggests that ravens understand a simple relationship. Successful wolf hunts create opportunities for everyone. Imagine that, a bird cooperating with one of nature's most powerful predators, not through instinct alone, but through strategy. Most animals live almost entirely in the present, reacting to whatever is happening around them. Ravens are different. In one remarkable experiment, researchers offered a raven a choice between food available immediately and a tool that could be used later to obtain an even better reward. Again and again, the raven chose the tool. It wasn't acting on impulse, it was planning for the future. This discovery challenged long-held beliefs about intelligence. For decades, scientists thought future planning was a skill reserved mainly for humans and a few primates. Then ravens shattered that assumption. These birds regularly hide food in secret locations and can return weeks later to recover it. Some ravens maintain hundreds of food caches spread across large territories. Astonishingly, they remember where nearly all of them are. To a raven, the forest itself becomes a vast memory bank. Now the story becomes even stranger. Imagine a raven discovers a valuable food source. Instead of immediately eating it, the bird first checks its surroundings. Why? Because ravens know other ravens steal. If another bird appears to be watching, a raven may pretend to hide food in one location while secretly placing it somewhere else entirely. Think about what that means. The raven understands that another bird is observing its actions and forming conclusions. It deliberately manipulates those conclusions. Scientists call this ability perspective taking, and it is considered one of the foundations of advanced intelligence. The raven isn't simply thinking, it is thinking about what another raven is thinking. That's an extraordinary level of awareness for a bird. Remember the story from the beginning? It gets even more fascinating. Researchers discovered that ravens can recognize individual human faces and remember them for years. A person who once threatened a raven may be remembered long after the encounter is over. But the story doesn't end there. Ravens are highly social birds, and they communicate information with one another. When one raven identifies a danger, others often learn about it as well. Over time, an entire local population can begin reacting differently to a specific person. Imagine walking through a forest while every raven already knows exactly who you are. Scientists have documented this phenomenon repeatedly. The bird isn't just remembering, it's sharing information, creating what some researchers describe as a living airborne intelligence network, watching, learning, remembering, and teaching. Here's something almost unbelievable. Ravens play, not because they need to survive, but because they appear to enjoy it. Young ravens have been observed sliding down snowy rooftops over and over again, almost like children on a playground. Others perform aerial acrobatics high in the sky for no obvious reason. Some collect unusual objects simply because they find them interesting. Shiny stones, bottle caps, small toys, items that have no survival value whatsoever. Scientists consider play one of the strongest indicators of intelligence because it suggests curiosity, creativity, and exploration. The smarter the animal, the more likely it is to engage in play. By that measure, ravens rank among the most playful and intelligent birds on Earth. For thousands of years, ravens have appeared in myths, legends, and stories across the world. The Vikings believed ravens carried knowledge across the earth. Many Native American traditions portrayed them as clever tricksters and powerful beings. Across Europe, ravens were often seen as messengers between worlds. Why did so many cultures give this bird such an important role? Perhaps because ravens always seemed different. They appeared too observant, too aware, and too intelligent to be ordinary birds. Ancient people didn't have modern science to explain raven behavior, but they sensed something remarkable nonetheless. Long before researchers began studying their minds, humans already recognized that there was something extraordinary about these dark-winged creatures. So the next time you hear a raven calling from a distant tree, remember what you've learned today. That bird may recognize faces, plan for the future, outsmart predators, deceive rivals, and teach its young what it has learned. It isn't simply surviving, it's thinking. And perhaps that's why ravens have fascinated humanity for thousands of years. Because when we look into a raven's eyes for a brief moment, it feels as though something intelligent is looking back. If you enjoyed this story, subscribe to Birdhearts for more incredible bird mysteries and wildlife stories. And tell me in the comments, would you rather have the memory of a raven or the eyesight of an eagle? I'll see you in the next one.